my pretty, and your little dog, too.
Coming over the hill, is it a monster? Is it a monster? What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster? Is it a monster? What's that coming over the hill? Is it a monster?
So welcome back, a whole new season of Arunducker vs. the Monsters. I'm even in the Cheery the Meaner. Don't worry, I'll be back to my miserable sad sack self by next week. Don't get used to it. This week could prove to be a controversial episode. We're dealing with the powers of witchcraft. If you have any concerns or hate mail about this episode, you can send them right here.
Witchcraft is a very ancient set of beliefs, the beliefs that some people had powers by magic or some other supernatural means to control and influence things. That's different from paganism. Paganism is a belief in other gods, the non-Christian God. And although people often lump the two together, in fact they are completely separate.
Beware of witches, or so we're told. They're wicked, they're treacherous, they're deceitful, and they're also great fun. What would Halloween be without a witch?
A better third movie, perhaps?
Or can you imagine Hansel and Gretel without one? All you'd have left is 2 kids and some breadcrumbs.
AKA the contents of Gary Glitter's bed sheets.
And yet, the witch has been a source of ridicule for centuries. Folklore and legend have saddled her with very dark and sinister attributes. She's usually depicted as an ugly old hag with a wart on her nose. No wonder she stayed home until after dark. She'd emerge at midnight, the witching hour, riding her broomstick across the sky. Now, it may be difficult to imagine, but this had to be even more uncomfortable than flying coach. But there was a purpose to her discomfort. She could use the broom to sweep her tracks from the sky. Her fashion sense, however, was not as discreet. She took to wearing large pointed hats, a dead giveaway that she was evil. You see, in earlier times, this style of hat was frowned on by the church, which equated the point with the horn of a devil. So anyone wearing such a hat would, of course, be in league with the devil. In spite of all the negative stereotypes that folklore has heaped on the witch, there's a large and growing number of people today who are proud to call themselves witches. They practice a pagan religion called Wicca, from the Old English word for wise. Wiccan priestess Selena Fox explains.
Witchcraft is not only alive and well in the United States, but it is around the world. And by witchcraft, I mean the ancient nature religion. The word witch has a lot of baggage. One of the things that people think about when they hear the word witch is evil of some sort.
Whatever happened to crazy?
We do not worship Satan. We don't believe in Satan. The idea of witchcraft and Satanism becoming synonymous is a result of the negative PR campaign that was done during the Middle Ages.
Actually, she's very right. Occultism is alive and well in America. I'm going to show you a few of the most famous occultists of recent years. Have a look. You might recognize some of them. That's right. Occultists still exist today. They're called scientists. The word occult just means unknown, and science is basically the exploration of the unknown. All the occultists were trying to do is figure out the world using the science known to them. You see, the ancient ways of astrology becomes astronomy today, and alchemy becomes chemistry, and basically the backbone of all occultism was mathematics. Well, there was a negative campaign by the Catholic Church because science and Catholicism have never worked together. Basically, they were calling science devil worship because it proved the Holy Babel wrong. Now, this would be Aaron Ducker versus the monsters if we didn't go look at some idiots. So let's do that. These ones were trying to cure Charlie Sheen after his breakdown.
Charlie Sheen isn't winning over any warlocks with his recent words, and these Salem witches and warlocks are fed up with his act.
Yes, sir, I'm Cuban Pete. I'm the craze of Mannequin Street. When I start to dance, everything goes chick, chicky, boom, chick, chicky, boom.
You shall speak the names of the craft no more, in foolishness and irreverence.
Ingredients for spell: maracas, skull of a Hollywood props department, complete lack of self-respect.
For our ancient ways shall not be shamed by your ill deeds.
I think the ancient ways are being shamed by your shitty makeup job and lack of fashion sense, sir. This leaves us with the question, where does this Wicca bullshit come from? Well, I equate it to the Scientology movement. They both came out in the 1950s. They're both about people who think they can change the universe via the power of their magic in their minds.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn. And because a Scientologist does, he or she has the ability to create new and better realities and improve conditions.
Let's go and look at a real Wiccan ritual. This is real magic, performed by a witch.
This is a simple spell for manifesting something you desire. When trying to manifest a desire, there are several things that you should keep in mind. Always respect the rule of harm none. What you are manifesting should not be something that belongs to another, and never ever should it be a person. You must always respect others' free will. Also, you should not be too narrow in your desire. For example, if you are manifesting money, you should not ask for $10, but rather for the money I need, at least $10. Spirit may send you more than you ask for, unless you yourself have limited it. Spirit will never overrule the limitations you place on yourself. Only you can remove those. Finally, when just starting out in magic, it may be advisable to start with small things. This is because magic will not work if you do not believe it will work. Because energy responds to thought and emotion. If your thought is, I manifest a Cadillac, but your emotion is, I could never do this, it won't work. By starting with simple things, you can build up in increments and be less likely to run into self-imposed limitations.
Isn't that just a secret? The self-help manual that everyone read and then laughed at?
For this spell, you will need a candle. White is good, but so is red. Something to light it with. Nothing will screw up your magical consciousness worse than forgetting the matches and having to stop and look for them in the middle of the working.
Oh no! The magic is gone!
A piece of paper. Something to write with. A burning dish. That is to say, a dish which is not going to be damaged by fire. Brass incense burners work very well, but many other things do too. Something to stir the fire with. A stick or a knife work well. Begin by releasing all tension and anxiety. Put yourself into a comfortable position. Now think about what you want to manifest. Concentrate on it and imagine clearly what it might be like to have it.
A sex-addicted robot clone of Asia Argento. A sex-addicted robot clone of Asia Argento. A sex-addicted robot clone of Asia Argento. Oh.
Meditate on this for a while, keeping it clear in your mind. Now write down on your paper what it is you wish. You may wish to write it in a manner similar to the invocation given below. You may notice that we use the same one rather a lot, but when something works, why mess with it? Now light your candle. Again, release all tension before you start the actual spell. Focus for a few moments on the candle's flame. Now take your paper. You may want to fold it in half, but don't fold it up tightly, as this will retard the burning process. Imagine a ball of white light at the center of your chest. Affirm, "Behold, I connect myself to the powers of the universe." Imagine yourself rising up above your physical body and high above the earth. You may want to imagine looking down at the whole earth below you. Now affirm, "There is one power in the universe, and I am a perfect manifestation of that power." Open your eyes and take your paper. Affirm, "There is one power in the universe, and I am a perfect manifestation of that power. And as such I will that even as this paper burns, so too shall this which I have written come to pass."
He or she has the ability to create new and better realities and improve conditions.
May it come to me easily and with harm toward none. I will it, I draw it to me, I manifest it, I accept it, I receive it, I give thanks for it. By my will, so mote it be.
So, Mr. Renham, how did the cosmos grant you a helicopter?
Well, I visualized the thing I wanted. In my case, it was a helicopter. I drew a picture of the helicopter on a piece of paper. Then I stood with my back to space, threw the paper over my shoulder, and wished really hard. A couple of days later, bought myself a helicopter. Explain that one if you can.
Anyway, that's all we have time for next week. Till next time, go away.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine.